Come closer. Closer. I'm about to share some of the secrets that only the richest in the world know. Okay, I'm joking. Not only the richest in the world, because I'm not the richest in the world, but I am going to talk about some of the secrets that only the rich follow. And if you follow these secrets too, you'll be one of them. And at the end, I'm going to give you guys a bonus tip that you're probably already doing now. So secret number 1 is paying yourself first. So take a second to imagine with me. It's the first of the month. You just got out of bed. You're going downstairs. You're brewing your coffee. You go on the couch and you see that you got paid. Life's good. But here's what you'll probably do. You'll pay your bills, you'll pay your water bill, you'll pay your electricity bill, you'll pay your Netflix bill, and all the other bills you have. And then with all the leftover money, if you have any, because things are so expensive nowadays, you're going to use all that money to go shopping and buy yourself a new purse or some new shoes or a new phone or whatever it may be. But if you notice, nowhere in that story did you pay yourself. Nowhere in that story did you invest. Nowhere in that story did you save. Now let's replay that situation with a point of view from someone who's rich and wealthy. They wake up the same way you do, they walk down the stairs, they grab their coffee, they sit on the couch and they see that they got 80% paid. What do you mean 80% paid? Well, they got paid 80% of their paycheck because 20% got automated towards savings and investing. They paid themselves first. And with the remaining 80%, they're going to use that money to pay off everything else. They're going to pay off their friend who they lended money from. They're going to pay off their loans. They're going to pay off their car payment, their Netflix bills, and any other bills that they have. And then after paying everyone else, they're going to treat themselves to some guilt-free money that they can spend on anything. It could be a new vacuum, it could be 10,000 McChickens, whatever it may be. This is their guilt-free money because they already saved and invested first. And if you don't have any leftover money after paying your bills to spend on yourself, it may be time to take a deeper dive into your finances and see where it's all going and where you can cut down. See, it's like the airplane example. If you've ever traveled on the airplane, you've seen the flight attendant do the mask thing and they're telling you this, and this. But one thing that they mention very clearly is if there was ever an emergency situation, make sure to secure yourself before securing someone else. And this is exactly how your finances should be treated. You should be paying yourself first before paying everyone else. Save and invest first, then use the rest of your money to pay off your bills and your guiltless spending. Secret number 2. Believe it or not, debt is actually not the devil. What have you been told all your life about debt? That it's the worst thing ever, that you should stay away from it, and Dave Ramsey's here teaching you that you need to pay off all your debt, including your mortgage, and anything you have a loan on, you need to pay that off ASAP. But I'm here to tell you that some of the richest people in the world actually have some of the most debt. Many millionaires invest in real estate, which they need to take on debt for. So yes, debt is not bad. Yo, come back. It doesn't mean go buy a new iPhone, let me continue. Anyways, like I was saying, not all debt is bad. Here's how debt works. Well, debt is basically money that you've lent from someone else who's the lender, and in return, you'll pay them that money back over a set amount of months or set amount of years with a set interest rate. And the interest rate that you're paying is money that goes into their pockets as profit. So you're paying them a certain percentage every single year to borrow money. For example, if you're looking to buy a car, you're gonna go to the bank to take on some debt. You're gonna say, hey, I found this car for $10,000. Will you guys lend me the money? And the bank's gonna be like, sure, here's $10,000 now, but over the next 7 years, we want you to pay $15,000 back. And that $5,000 difference is the profit that goes into the bank's pocket. And see, this is why everyone thinks debt is bad, because you're paying more for something than it's actually worth or what you're getting for it. But what actually makes debt good and what actually makes debt bad? Well, to simplify and not overcomplicate everything, basically, good debt is when you're using debt to buy an asset, and bad debt is when you're looking to buy a liability. See, if I'm going to buy a rental property and the loan that I'm taking out was 4%, but on that rental property I can make 8% back, this means I'm actually making a profit by taking on debt. Another good thing about debt is it allows you to leverage other people's money. If I needed 100% of the money to buy a house, no one would ever own a house. That's why we take on mortgages. We leverage the bank's money. We put up 20%, or sometimes even little as 5%, and they give us the remaining 80 or 95%. Of course, you're gonna have to make monthly payments, but if this is a cash flowing asset like a rental property, the tenant in that property is gonna be responsible for paying down the mortgage. And in turn, you're not paying anything towards that loan, and you're using other people's money like the bank and your tenant to pay off that house. On the other hand, bad debt could be taking out a loan for a new car that has high depreciation. Or, of course, something that everyone is familiar with, and that's consumer debt like credit card bills. Credit cards have some of the highest interest rates on any type of loan that you can get, and that's what makes it so bad. Secret number 3 is when the market is down, the rich know that that's actually a good thing. See, what we're talking about here and what I teach and what we're all doing is investing for the long term. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. I'm not talking a week. I'm not talking buying stocks for the next month. We're in this for the long term. And with that, that means we have time to spare and time's on our side. And because of this, that means it's actually a good thing when stocks fall. And the rich and the wealthy recognize this. When a certain stock falls on any random day, that doesn't mean some bad news necessarily came out for that company or they're losing more money than they expected. It may be that it's a random Tuesday and the market decided to be red that day, because the economy as a whole does have an influence on the stock market. If we're in a bear market, that's actually a great time to buy stocks. Picture this. You go to the mall and you see a pair of shoes for $100. You're like, that's too much. I love the shoes, I want them, but that's just too much. Then you come back 2 days later, that same pair of shoes is for $30. The same pair of shoes, does the same exact thing, it's the same size, everything is the same about that shoe. You're going to be ecstatic, you're going to be jumping and joy, and you're probably going to cash out before I can even finish a sentence. The mindset that the rich have is that same exact strategy and that same exact thought process about stocks. If the market is down as a whole and there's a quality company that they know has good profits, has good profit margins, has good revenue, and is going in a good direction, that's a perfect time for them to buy, even though it's down, because it's on sale. See, listen carefully. I'm not saying any stock that is down is a good buy just because it's down and it's technically on sale. So don't come yelling at me when you go buy that penny stock and say,
well, he told me to buy it when it's on sale.
No, I'm talking when the market has a downturn and we're in a bear market or the stock market is down 10% over a couple months. This is a perfect time to buy good quality companies that are growing, that have good profits, that have good revenue, and have a good sense of direction for the future. This isn't an excuse to go buy that terrible company you've been eyeing for a while. This mindset is also very, very good for index funds. And when index funds like VTI, which represent the whole US stock market, are down, this is a good time to buy because it's showing not only is one company down, but the whole stock market is down as a whole. Secret number 4 that the rich follow, and that is multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income is single-handedly the most important thing when it comes to your personal finances. Okay, I've probably already said that about the other 3 secrets I've mentioned here, but no, this is actually a very, very important one. Let's say you have a chicken coop that supplies all the eggs, and all you guys do in your family is eat these eggs that the chickens produce. You have one stream of food. You eat those eggs for dinner, you eat those eggs for lunch, brunch, whatever you eat, supper. I don't know what people eat these days. Anyways, at 5 a.m. every day, you grab your one basket, you go out to the chicken coop, you collect your eggs, and you walk back. And throughout the day, you guys will eat those eggs. But now let's say on your walk back, that one basket that you have all your eggs in rips. You're out of lunch, you're out of breakfast, you're out of brunch, you're out of dinner, you're out of supper. Now you can't eat for the day. But say when you went to collect the eggs, you had 2 baskets instead of 1. So if one rips, you still have the other one as backup. You're going to have eggs in both baskets. This lowers the risk of losing all your eggs, or in our case, all your income. So think of the same situation with your income. If you're relying on one source of income like your W-2 job and you lose that job, you're not going to be able to pay the mortgage. You're not going to be able to buy groceries. So to lower that risk, you want to gain multiple streams of income. This not only helps you grow your money even more because you're making more money, but it gives you that added security in case you lose one of your streams of income. The average millionaire has 7 streams of income, and each of these vary in different ways. If you guys want to deep dive on all of those 7 different ways of income, I want you guys to comment streams down below. But for now, some ways that you can gain some extra income is dividend income through stocks, creating a business, starting a side hustle, picking up a second part-time job, or whatever it may be. Secret number 5. And that is the rich love the tax code. All of us hate taxes. And when it comes to the rich, it seems like they're paying less taxes when they're making more money. Like this, and this, and oh yeah, this. How's that even fair? Is it because they illegally avoid taxes? Maybe, but those people just end up in prison. The rich pay less taxes because they understand how the tax code works. And they use the tax code as their friend, not their enemy. And they understand that there's so much information out there that can show you how to legally pay less taxes. See, the IRS and the government actually incentivizes people to invest in real estate, invest in stocks, open up businesses, because this is good for the economy. If you open up a business, you're going to open up more jobs. If you invest in real estate, you're going to grow the areas. And they incentivize this by allowing tax breaks. You've probably heard someone somewhere say, yeah, just write that off. What does writing that off mean? Well, a write-off is basically a tax deduction, which is an expense necessary towards business that you don't pay taxes on. Let me simplify this a bit. Say you open up a lemonade stand and you make $100 selling lemonade that first day. So at this point, you made $100 in income and you're gonna have to pay taxes on that $100. But in order to make that $100, you had some expenses. You had to buy the cups, you had to buy the lemons, you had to buy the tables, whatever you had to buy. And all that costed you $80. So in order to make the $100 of income, you actually had to pay $80. So you write off or deduct that $80 and show your income as $20. So now your tax burden went from $100 to only $20. And the rich and the wealthy and the people in businesses use this tactic all the time. In order to lower their tax break, they're gonna have to pay $100 towards taxes. Rather than paying that $100 towards the IRS, they're gonna go off and buy a $400 or $500 camera if they're a photographer, because that's a necessary expense towards their business, and they deduct that towards their income, so they're gonna have to pay less in taxes. So even though they paid more out of their pocket, they actually got an asset rather than it all going towards the IRS. Now see, it is a lot more complicated, and maybe we'll touch up on it in a different video, because when you write off, it actually lowers your income on your tax return, which could be complicated when it comes to taking out loans and receiving funding, but that's for a different video. Now time for that bonus tip that I promised you guys, and that is the rich know the power of education and knowledge and financial literacy. See, I said you guys all got a head start on this because you are subscribed to this YouTube video, and if you're not, you better go ahead and do that now. When I talk education, I'm not only talking financial literacy. People who are rich and who are wealthy and successful in business have different types of mindset. They're positive, they're not negative, and they think in abundance that there's always something out there for you to do, always something out there for you to get. There's never a shortage of something. And I'm not gonna lie, I sometimes have that attitude. I'm always negative in certain situations, or I'm pessimistic, and I'm trying to work on that. But this is very, very important. Different ways that you can continue your education or your knowledge could be as simple as reading a book when you have some spare time, when you're out on your walk, listening to an audiobook or a podcast or whatever entertains you, while at the same time giving you some education. Like I said, subscribing to this page is a great way to get a head start on that. So today we went over some of the secrets that the rich follow, and that if you follow these steps, I guarantee you will be on your path to becoming rich and wealthy. With that being said, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the page, drop a comment what you think about the video and what you guys want to see in future videos below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.